Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric from Moss Pawn & Gun, and today we're going to be talking about a really cool little custom 1022. This particular one we've got outfitted with a 920 diameter Keystone Arms bull barrel with a modified bench chamber, running on a standard Ruger 1022 carbine receiver. We're running a Revolution Keystone branded laminate stock. They're available in several different colors. Running a Power Custom extended magazine release. We're running a Volquartsen trigger pack that you drop in, just a drop-in match grade trigger unit. Gets the trigger pulled down to about 4 pounds. It's pretty respectable. We're running a Trijicon 3 to 9x40 Accupoint. We're going to do a little bit of grouping with the gun today just to show you the inherent accuracy potential of this setup. And this is just meant to be a video that can show you the type of accuracy you can expect to obtain out of a highly modified 1022. As you guys know, Chad has one that is highly modified, very accurate. I'm going for something along the same lines. A rig like this can be put together for not a whole lot of money, especially if you're willing to install everything yourself. It's really not that difficult to do on your own. This kind of goes hand in hand with our gun gripe, or our video where we talked about the 5 most customizable guns. We will be showing those customizable guns in action. So let's see how it does at 50 yards. We're going to be firing Lapua Center X. We're going to be shooting the Remington Club Extra, and we're going to try some of the RWS R50. All top shelf match loads. They should do quite nicely. So let's give it a shot. All right, so we're going to do a couple of test groups with the little Keystone rig here for you, just to get an idea of what the inherent accuracy potential is. Normally when you're shooting groups for record, the way you want to do them is you want to foul the ammunition out. You want to shoot about 2 groups to foul the barrel and then 2 groups for record. We're not really going to have time to do that in that exact fashion today, but most of this ammo we're shooting, this is all lubed projectiles like you're going to see in most of your match ammo. I've already shot a few preliminary groups with the Center X, so we've got the barrel fouled out a bit. I'm going to shoot a couple of groups. We're going to start off with the Lapua Center X. See how she runs. All right, that group wasn't really all that great, but let's see if maybe a few fouling shots did the trick. Tighten that up a bit. I'm going to move 1 quadrant over. Had a few flyers, which very well could have been my fault, could have been fouling. I'm going to move over 1 more. All right, we got the same type of flyers in that group that we did in the previous one. We got 5 more shots. Do 1 more group, see if they tighten up a bit. That's a little more like it. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to shoot one more group with the Center X just to make sure we can't improve on that at all. All right, one more group with the Center X, and we're going to move on to probably the Remington Club Extra. That's not a bad group, that third one. Let's see if the fourth one's any better. Couple of decent groups. Definitely not the best of the day, but let's move on to some of the Remington and see if it fares any better. Definitely not horrible, but definitely shows some accuracy potential for this rig. We're going to run the Remington Club Extra. Out of all the grouping I've done with this gun so far, this is the ammo that shot best for me. So let's try it out. That's actually not a bad preliminary group, considering that's the first time we've shot this ammo out of this gun today. I'm going to shoot a couple of more, see if they tighten up. I mean, all these shots would have been, you know, squirrel head MOA for sure. I'm going to move over to another quadrant. We'll try 5 shots. Hopefully that was enough to foul us out a bit there. Now that's a little bit more like it right there. That's about how we want to see it grouping. You know, whether it's the gun or the shooter is really hard to determine. I mean, that's how you really want to go about accuracy testing with any gun, is to bench rest it, and you're trying to remove all the variables from the equation that you possibly can. So I've got 5 left in the gun of the Remington. I got one more quadrant. Let's see if we can replicate that result. Not horrible, not what I would consider amazing accuracy, but again, bear in mind that this is very preliminary accuracy testing. We're going to do more work with this rifle as time goes on. We're going to do lots more off-camera accuracy testing that we'll be able to find the perfect load that we want for it. So far, the Club Extra and the Center X both seem to be shooting into a very similar margin of accuracy. We're going to finish up with the R50 just to give us an idea of how it's doing. And, pretty good accuracy so far. I think it definitely has potential. Definitely a neat barrel. I love the little Keystone barrel. So, all right, let's shoot a few more groups with the R50, see how it does. All right, so we saw a little bit of the kind of preliminary accuracy potential of the Club Extra and the Center X. Now we're going to try the R50 out, see how it does. Remember, this is preliminary accuracy. I haven't really done a lot of development with this gun yet, but we will do more. Let's try her out. Not a bad first group other than the one flyer. Let's shoot another one. Now that's the kind of consistency that you're looking for in a bull barrel Ruger 10/22. You saw all of those shots went in pretty much one hole. We had, it looks like, we had one that slung a little low there. But that's really what you're looking for, those nice, tight cluster groups. You want those clover leaf groups out of a match grade 10/22. Let's try a couple of more groups. Hopefully we'll get that same result a few more times, hopefully a little better. Now that group was not horrible, but we do see again, we have a consistent flyer that seems to be bothering us here. We're going to try one last group with the R50. See, one of the things that you're looking for in a 10/22 like this is you want consistency, all right? Upgrading stuff like your stocks, your barrels, your trigger components, I mean, that can help, but where the real consistency lies in a rig like this is gonna be in the bedding and the blueprinting and making sure that the whole action has a certain amount of rigidity to it, all right? That's where you're gonna get that real consistency. Now, swapping a barrel, swapping a stock, I mean, it will improve the inherent accuracy potential of your 10/22, but bear in mind, there's only gonna be so much accuracy you're gonna get out of just basic swaps. This does show a lot of promise. We might eventually bed this rifle just to get a little bit better accuracy. But it definitely groups better than a standard gun would do on any given day. I mean, we had several shots in the strings today where we were getting like, 3 or 4 shots in one hole, and then it might throw a slight flyer, or you might shoot one group where the first is maybe a slight flyer. And when we say flyer, I mean, we mean like an inch off to one side or a half an inch. It's not a lot, but it's enough of a difference to where you're gonna tell the difference between this and a rifle that is set up extremely consistent. I would say the upgrades were definitely worth the money. This definitely is an accurate rifle that you can play with at different ranges, and it's very accurate. Not quite so heavy to where you can't carry it and go kill squirrels with it if you have to. So it's just a great gun that you can teach youngsters, trigger control, trigger discipline, proper shooting techniques, and it's really going to be at least a good indicator of what's going to spoil a group. I mean, it's groups good enough to where if the kids are throwing the shots off by improper trigger control, improper breathing, improper techniques, you'll be able to dial that down to the shooter's problems and not the rifle. Definitely a nice setup. We'll do more work with it in the future. We appreciate you watching today. I know this video is a little bit off the subject of what we normally do, but I wanted to showcase this 1022 because we have been talking about customization, upgrades. We do realize that more people now are keeping their older guns, they're keeping their used guns, they're upgrading them, they're putting money into them. So, a lot of people don't have the money to buy new guns or to buy an upgraded gun. A lot of people like to upgrade what they already have. So with the Keystone stock, the barrel, lots of the little components like the Volquartsen drop-in trigger components, a nice scope, you can turn that little 1022 into a relative tack driver with a little bit of effort and a little money. So thanks for watching and have a good day.